me a god. They call me a god.
Hey guys, this is Nick. Welcome to the channel. And today's going to be particularly about the Corvettes. But I'm going to get the 82 out and I'm going to get the C7 out. So C3 versus C7. To give my thoughts on both of them. Take you two guys to a car show and do a little bit of cruising in both cars. So stay tuned. Super excited about getting both of them out. It's been a while since I've driven the C7. So stay tuned, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel. As always, it's for you guys. So I appreciate your love. And any questions you guys have, I'm always here to respond. So enjoy the video. If you like it, definitely like it at the end. If you appreciate it, definitely haven't subscribed already. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your help. It helps me out. And again, I do it for the love for the cars. God bless, guys. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, today I want to do a video of the C7 versus C3. Last of the C3 generation, 1982, and the last of the front engine manual transmission C7 Z06s. There's going to be a comparison test today, and not a comparison, but just kind of the similarities between the two. Let's go ahead and start with the C7 and see how 40 years have transpired. All right, on the C7, you can kind of tell the similarities. You see how the front fender, how the long hood front fender kind of goes between the two. See the wheel arches, long hood. In the C7, you have the hood distractor, kind of extracts heat from the supercharger. 19s in the front, 20s in the back. But you kind of can tell how the fender between the two are very similar. If you go over to the 82, so you kind of have the long front hood on both of them. Crossfire injection. So it's kind of how to compare the sides profiles, but let's go ahead and give you a comparison on the front. So that's how the front of the C7 looks. You can see how the front kind of is very similar between the C3 and the C7. Both have the kind of the long hood front fenders. Kind of give you the body line of a C3. You can kind of tell that with the long hood, short rear end. I give you the profile of a C7. So very similar, guys, between the two. So you can tell on the C7 you don't have the circular tail lights, but you do have the four. They start to change on the C7 version, and I'll go ahead and show you the C3. Of course, on the C3 you have the four circular tail lights. This is where your fuel for your C3 goes, and so this is where you put your fuel in the C7. So that's different. Boy, man, the similarities are very similar between the two. Let's go ahead and pop the hoods, and I'll show you the difference between those two. All right, you can kind of tell that it's kind of like a clamshell hood. Both of them pop up the same way compared to a C8. C8's in motors and I guess the mid-engine or towards the back, but that's how a C3 looks. Very similar to the C7. You can kind of tell between the two that you have similarities between the two. All right, that's the interior of the C7. This one has a 7-speed. All right, guys, here's the interior of the 1982 C3. You can kind of tell the difference between 40 years. Let's see the 82 real fast. All right, in 82, this is what it looks like inside. So this one, you don't have a hatchback. You do have room in the back. But you have to put your stuff in the back from the inside of the car. And you kind of can tell that's what it looks like from in front of the car. All right, guys, let's take a seat in the C7. So 40 years, you can kind of tell there's a difference in technology. but I mean, it feels very comfortable. You kind of fall into the car. But the interior is pretty similar. Again, it's also more, obviously more refined. But again, pretty much the same interior, same style. Just 40 years of difference in technology. So on 82, you have about 200 horsepower for the crossfire injection. On the C7, you have horsepower ranging from, I believe, 460 all the way up to 755. This one's a Z06, so you have 250 horsepower. You have carbon ceramic brakes on this one, but some of them do come with steel rotors. Hey guys, I forgot to mention that on the 82 you have two tops. So those two glass panels that's removed. Versus on the C7 you have a turbo top. So the whole top comes off. And that's kind of difference too between the two. So there you go guys, about 40 years worth of difference between the last of each of its kind. Again, the C7 Z06, the last front engine rear-wheel drive Corvette, and the 82 is the last of the C3s generation. They ran from 1968 all the way to 1982, and this one's been an absolute blast. It's been more of a cruiser. Gives looks everywhere I go. Good classic in my opinion. You don't see too many 82s that's not collector editions that's still on the road, but it's thoroughly enjoyed that one. This one is just a monster. Two different types of cars, guys. This is again 650 horsepower, 650 pounds free to torque. Kind of hard to compare the two, but I love each one of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care.
Sweet,
ran all
sweet,
these.
sweet.